Yeah.
A viewer named Mahaprabhu Prabhu sent a message. And I would like first to thank you very much, Goswami Maharaj, for your kind sharing of those most precious realizations of yours that never cease to amaze. And I got a question. Among the 9 processes of devotional service, some like Shravana and Kirtana seem more obvious for us than others like sakhyam and Atmanivedana. Could you please share your realizations on how a sakhyam can be practiced in sadhana bhakti, or is it strictly reserved for raga bhakti? Thank you.
Well, we're told one of the hallmarks of Madhyamadhikarya, the progressive position, second-class position in devotion, is, what is it? Prema, Maitri, Kripoksheksha, to befriend the devotees, right? To avoid the association of those who are inimical or adverse toward the culture of Krishna consciousness, and to make friendship amongst those who are practicing devotees, initiated devotees, anukulya sasankava, those who are engaged in a favorable culture. Says Guru Maharaj, name the Kolkata, the center there, or at least to operate under this name of the Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Krishna Anushilana Sangha. So an association, Krishna Anushilana Sangha, an association for the favorable culture of Krishna conception. So it's natural for the devotees to befriend other devotees. As they're also Guru Maharaj invoking, saying Sadhu Sangha Satovare. We want spiritual association. Shamarshila Bhajanti Bhai means those who are like-minded. As Guru Maharaj said, birds of a feather flock together. And Sadhu Sangha Satovare means, and particularly in this case, those who are superior, more advanced. We seek out the association and service of more advanced devotees. And so we'll take it in that way. But with reference to Navabhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. Guru Maharaj, in the line of Srila Saraswati Thakur's thought, is putting the emphasis on Kirtanam, meaning making propaganda in favor of Krishna conception. So the Kirtan is an indispensable necessity for those who are progressive. That means extending, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, extending what has been heard to others. There's a tacit understanding and the extension of Krishna conception, the gift of Krishna consciousness to others. For those on the receiving end, the tacit understanding was given freely and should be shared freely with others. And Srila Guru Maharaj has pointed out that whereas we might be absent-mindedly taking the name, chanting japa, right, that Kirtanam expressing Krishna conception, what has been heard, Shraddhan Vito Anushanaya Ratavarna Yedyak, what we've heard from authentic sources, Sadhu, Shastra, Guru, Vaishnav, particularly Guru and Vaishnav, who we take it as the interpreters of Shastra. Achinoti Shastrartam, extracting the inner meaning of the scripture. So this Kirtan, in this sense, requires maximum concentration. But Rupa Goswami, and also in the Upadeshamritam, and Guru Maharaj points out that really, he said it is Mahaprabhu's instructions, using Rupa Goswami as a loudspeaker, in that sense, and he says, Dadati pratigranati guhyamakyati prichtati bhunkte bhujayate chaiva sadvidi pritilakshanam. These 6 transactions favorable to the cultivation of Krishna consciousness, and he's saying giving to the devotees, receiving from them, taking prasadam, sharing prasadam with them, inquiring from them, means guhyamakyati pricchati, means revealing your inner thoughts, your heart, inquiring from them, how to proceed, how to respond. So implied is a certain level of friendship. Also in Gita, Krishna telling Arjuna, Bhaktosi me sakha cheti, the Gita Rahasyam, the secret of Bhagavad Gita, I'm revealing to you for 2 reasons. He's saying, because you're my devotee and my friend. Bhaktosi me sakha cheti. And the inverse being, if one is not friendly to Krishna or devoted, then the Gita Rahasyam will not, the secret of Bhagavad Gita will not be revealed. So, yes.
Dhananjaya Prabhu also got a question. Dandavat Maharaj, in Prapana Jivanamritam, 9th chapter, Words of Nectar from the Supreme Lord, Srila Guru Maharaj gives 26 verses from Bhagavad Gita. Should we consider them to be the key shlokas of all Bhagavad Gita to us?
Well, when Srila Guru Maharaj presented Prapana Jivanamritam, we should understand that what stage of spiritual life he was in the aftermath of the disappearance of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Gaudiya Mat. And Srila Guru Maharaj went into deep meditation on what is the most essential aspect of Krishna consciousness in terms of Krishna culture. As we can say in Charitamritam and Mahaprabhu's instructions, perhaps Sanatana Goswami, where he's saying Nam Sankirtan, Bhagavat Sravan, Sadhu Sangha, Murti Pratishta. There's different things mentioned there. But Guru Maharaj has an overview. And what is the goal of all these different activities? Vaishnava Seva, Sadhu Sangha, Nam Sankirtan, Bhagavat Shravan, is, as the title of the collection of the songs of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Saranagati, surrender. All these songs Bhaktivinoda collected under this heading. Saranagati means surrender. Saranagata means one who is surrendered. So Srila Guru Maharaj, he began scanning all the different scriptures and collecting the important slokas on the subject of Saranagati or surrender. And the very book, the title indicates, Prapanna means surrender. Prapanna Jivana Amritam. So, and he rendered it variously, but most often would say, for the surrendered souls, this is life-giving nectar, or life-giving nectar for the surrendered souls. So he's saying, those who are surrendered, or on the path of surrender, hearing this collection of slokas under these different headings, Anukulyasa Sankalpa, Pratikulyasa Varjanam, Gopritve Bharanam Rakshashititi Vishvaso. This will be life-giving nectar to them. And so he has the different divisions there. And particularly the first part of the book is from the Bhakta Vachanamrita, the nectar of sayings from the devotees. And that includes Mahaprabhu because he is as devotee, Radha Bhava Duti Subalita, enveloped in the heart and halo of Radharani, taken as devotee. But that chapter, toward the end, are what the Lord himself has said on this subject. Different slokas. And Guru Maharaj is extracted from Bhagavad Gita, these slokas that describe surrender in various ways. If we recall in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, when it's being spoken in earnest, it's when Arjuna says, Sishas te ham sadimam tvam prapanam. There's that word again. Arjuna saying, now I'm offering myself to you. I'm surrendering myself to you to become your disciple. Please instruct me. And then Guru Maharaj is including there, it's not limited to, but we see repeatedly the word surrender or prapadyate is used, like, bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate. Vasudeva Savamiti Samahatma Sudurlabhaha. Devi Esha Gunamaye Mamevaye Prapadyante. Impossible to cross over Maya, to come out of this illusion. But for one who surrenders to me, Mamevaye Prapadyante, Maya me tam turantite. And what is not improper surrender? Kamaistaistaya ritigyanya prapadyantenya devata. Those who feign, it's not actual surrender, but surrender to demigods, you think they're misdirected, misguided. That's not surrender proper. Namam duskriteno mudha prapadyante naradama. Those who won't surrender to Krishna. The Duskritinas, the Mudha, asses, the Naradama, lowest among men. Duskriti means generally sinful. So many of the slokas given there, they're include this word, surrender, in one form of another. So, inasmuch as Guru Maharaj says at the beginning of Prapanna Jivanamritam, Bhagavat Bhakti Tat Sarvam It Vutsri Jividerapi Kainkarjam Krishna Padaika Shruyatam Saranagati, that you get everything from this. He once said it's like surrender is cash in the hand. It's not like do this and that'll happen. No, it is itself. It's sort of like everything, the means, the end. So, and by this act alone, one will get everything. So, those slokas that are given there, centering on Saranagati or surrender, then obviously they're of extreme importance. But it is not to dismiss other slokas from Bhagavad Gita. They're being collected on this theme, and inasmuch as this theme is the goal, then therein lies their importance. So, one would be very well advised to go through them, commit them to memory, to study them. Certainly, yeah.
Question from Kamala Nayana Didi. What is Gosh?
From who?
Kamala Nayana.
Oh, Kamala Nayana, yes.
What is Ishta Goshti?
Ishta Goshti? That means when the devotees get together and have a discussion. I mean, in its simplest way of expression, that's what it means. So, we hear sometimes Mahaprabhu and his devotees get together and they discuss something that's relevant to their present situation. In that tradition, and of Gaudiya Math, and we also found sometimes the devotees get together, they have a meeting, and they discuss what is relevant. Yes?
Krishna's name is revealed to this world, like the name vibration. We also heard about Krishna's flute, but why the flute sound is never revealed to us, like we cannot hear.
You can't hear it. Guru Maharaj said there was a rumor that a couple hundred years ago in Vrindavan that Krishna was playing his flute on the banks of the Jamuna, and everybody went running madly. The rumor spread around town. But we hear in the writings of Rupa Goswami some description of the sound of Krishna's flute. So, and his overall sloka in this regard, Atak Shri Krishna Namadi Nabhavye Grahyam Indriye. Saying Namadi means name, but that can also mean sound. Atak Shri Krishna Namadi, the Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila. The sound vibration form, the Rupa, the form of Krishna, Guna, qualities of Krishna, Lila, pastimes of Krishna. Takshri Krishna namadi nabhavyed grahyam indriyai. They're beyond the grasp of the senses, which include the mind. So he's saying straight out, you cannot hear, but to speak of the flute of Krishna, the name of Krishna, you will not see the form of Krishna, understand the qualities of Krishna, or have a vision of the pastimes of Krishna with your mind and senses. I mentioned recently, there's a word, supersensuous. Like there's sensuous, meaning, and the sensual, and the mundane sense of the world, word, what can be seen, heard, tasted, touched, smelled, etc. And supersensuous means not, it doesn't mean, zero, or not. It means beyond what can be seen by your eyes, heard by your ears, smelt by your nose, etc. But that means, it implies there's another way of seeing that. There's another way of hearing that, tasting that, smelling that, touching that. So, Rupa Goswami, Takshri Krishna namadi nabhavyed graham indriye sevan mukhe hidjivaro shayameva sportida. By seva, the seva current, that will bring illumination or revelation of the sound, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord. Just as here, all of these lights, the apparatus for expressing light, the critical, the most necessary thing that brings about illumination is the electrical current. Without electricity, then the apparatus is a shell. Just like Guru Maharaj describes in the Search for Sri Krishna. He talks about firing blank mantras. And we know when they start a race, they have a gun, right, with blanks in it, and go, pow, and then the people start running. It sounds, it's a gun, it has a bullet, a shell in there, it's firing, it makes the same, it has gunpowder, it does everything, except there's no bullet. So that's what he's telling us. Without a service, current, spirit, there's no bullet. It only superficially resembles the thing. This is corroborated by Jagadananda Pandit in the Prema Vibharat. Namakar Bahiroy Bata Namukabu Noi. The Namakar, the syllables of the holy name, just Krishna, that's not the holy name. In fact, he says, never is that the holy name. It means the spirit with which the name is taken. We can say, oh, we're told we need to become initiated by hearing the holy name from the Vaishnava Guru. We can say, well, that was before they had recording technology. Now we have that. So we have, Swami Prabhupada chanting on a tape. We have Srila Sridhar, Srila Govinda. What more do we need? If that's all it was, just play this recording, now you've heard. No, it has to be imparted with a particular spirit. There's some living necessity there for it to be a living thing and not a shell of a living thing. Right? For it to be the substantial thing. So, Srila Rupa Goswami, we present ourselves as aspiring servitors in the Rupa Nuga line. We're always making reference to that, our Guru Varga and the Rupa Nuga line. Sri Kritimati Guru Sri Rupanuga Kritimati Guru Gauranga Radha Jitasha. That means, ostensibly, that we have faith in Srila Rupa Goswami. And what is said, the advice given by Rupa Goswami. And Rupa Goswami is saying, you won't hear the actual name of Krishna, what to speak of the flute of Krishna, with your ears. It's not that kind of sound. Saying, but when your hearing sense is saturated with a serving tendency, we're back to the Saranagati, the surrendered soul, who's imbued with serving tendency, that current, that will awaken your super senses, right? Super sensuality. Those ears can hear the holy name of Krishna. Those ears can hear the flute song of Krishna. Those eyes can see the divine form of Krishna. That mind can meditate on the qualities of Krishna. That the swarup that embodies these super senses can participate in the pastimes. So Rupa Goswami, we know when Mahaprabhu is introducing Rupa Goswami to his devotees, and Rupa Goswami is shy and like growers, he's a back-pulling man in the background, not wanting to be in the spotlight, but Mahaprabhu is insisting because he wants to indicate his unique capacity. And it is the Rupa Nuga line. Of course, there's Rup Damodar and Lalita Sakhi. Rupa Goswami is next to Lalita Sakhi. So it all going like Radharani Mahaprabhu, Lalita Sakhi, Rup Damodar, Lalita Sakhi, Rupa. And first, I was saying Ishta Gosi, Ishta Devata. Mahaprabhu was saying, tell us in your writings, in the beginning of every book, the Ishta Devata, the worshipable Lord, conception of the Lord is presented there. He's saying, oh, read your opening verse to us about who this work is dedicated to and whom it's meant to please. Who is your Ishta Devata, your worshipable Lord? And he's written various ones, but including Anarpita Charim Chirad Korna Avatirna Kalo Samarpaitam Unutodrila Vasam Swabhakti Sriyam Hari Purita Sundar Duti Kadamba Sandipita Sada Hridaya Kandare Spuritu Va. Then Sachinandana. Mahaprabhu is in front of me saying, my worshipable Lord is the son of Mother Sachi. That means Mahaprabhu, but he says, Sachinandan, her son. He is her son. And he's saying, that's too much. Let's go on to another verse. Because he's in the mood of a devotee, he doesn't like to hear these things. We can say at other times, he does. When Mahaprabhu is engaged in pastimes with his devotees, we know that first he appears not so much like a devotee, but as a naughty boy, then arrogant, like teenager, and with Gadadhar Pandit, Srivas Thakur and others saying, oh, if he was only a devotee. But there, it's as if they are announcing Gaur Leela, what it will be. It's as if to pose the question, what would happen if he became a devotee? Because who is this mysterious personality who's behaving in these ways? At this point, even from being a baby, to a child, as a baby, Sachi Mata and Jagannath Misra, they see like footprints of Krishna in their house on the floor, but like from butter. If butter were put on the lotus feet of Krishna and then stamped the floor, and they're seeing like that all over their living room. And they're thinking, oh, we're so fortunate, they have a Shelagram Sheila in their house, and they're thinking, the Shelagram is showing some pastimes. They don't realize it's their child, their toddler, Nimai. He's crawling around on the floor and sometimes trying to walk, and that's where these auspicious lotus footprints and symbols are coming from. They think it's the family Shelagram, like, oh, how fortunate we are. The deity showing some sort of pastimes. Only like those ways. He's crying, the ladies chant Harinam, Hare Krishna Mama, and he stops crying. They stop chanting, he starts crying again. I mean, who descended in this world to inaugurate the Nam Sankirtan movement? The moment he was born, everyone's taking the name of Hari, and his pastimes. He's bringing the holy name out of others by crying. Like it's all very divine and indicative of future pastimes. And then as a boy, the Brahmin who stops by the house, he's worshiping his deity, he's making an offering, and then he closes, he's doing his meditation, his mantras, chanting, worship, bringing the Lord, offering the Lord a seat, and then offering everything to him. And when he opens his eyes, there's the Nima, he's like, his mouth is covered with all he's eating everything. He's, oh! Cleans everything, like try to offer again, and call the Lord, please come, Lord, take your seat, I'm now offering to you. And there's Nima again, eating everything. And he's just saying, as long as this child here, I won't be able to what have I done wrong? What am I doing? And he's revealing to him, you keep asking me. I'm coming and eating what you offer, and you're complaining. But these type of sweet, naughty pastimes, with his mother, she finds him eating like mud, earth. And she's saying, what are you doing? I have so many, sandash in the house. And he's saying, sandash or sand, it's the same, isn't it, really? It's all one. I mean, it's Brahma, it's Brahman. Ultimately, isn't everything spiritual substance? So whether you eat sand or sand transformed, then the sandash, really, essentially, it's all the same. And Mother Saji saying, oh, it's all the same. She's saying, but like, the sand, if you pour water in a pot, a clay pot will hold the water, but if you just pour it on sand, there's nothing. So it's transformed. It needs to be transformed. She's speaking to him. He's representing basically Brahmavad or even Mayavad, well, like that. And she's defeating him with Gaudiya Vedanta, but in a very sweet way. And he's saying, oh, Mother, why didn't you tell me these things before? Now I will eat sandash. And he crawls under her lap and starts sucking her breast. And he gets older, he has his students. He defeats the Keshav Kashmiri, the big Nimai Pandit is a like late teens, teacher of primary Sanskrit to the primary students. He's not, you think, as God, it would be the stereotype. Then he would, if one was thinking of these pastimes, they'd think, oh, he would be the greatest recognized Sanskritist of all time, teaching, a course to geniuses. That's not what he's doing. It's a Prakriti Leela. He's a teenager, like the advanced teenager, teaching the primary students the basics. That means he's disguised. That's why when they walk with Keshava Kashmiri on the banks of the Ganga, and he said, such a beautiful night, they're there with the students, and the big pundit scholar is there. When can you offer some praise of Mother Ganga? He's the favorite son of Saraswati, and he composes 100 slokas in glorification of Mother Ganga on the spot, spontaneous. Not that he had made them before and was reciting a stotram. He composes 100 slokas on the spot, one after another after another. So we can understand how extraordinarily qualified he is. And this is the way of the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, that he's saying, oh, that was wonderful. Who can do that? Isn't he who could possibly 100 slokas on the spot, spontaneous composition. This is, extraordinary. And they're so good. And it would be nice if you would be so kind to explain the good qualities of these slokas and some of the literary faults that are there, just for the education of the students. He's thinking, the literary faults, what do you mean? Well, like in, sloka 48, or whatever number, he recites it perfectly. And right away, Keshava Kashmiri thinking I was shocked that I composed 100 on the spot, and he can not only remember them, but he knows which one has some literary faults in it. He said, well, what do you mean by fault? He said, well, we see that it has many good qualities, but here we see a few faults. The redundancy of saying, referring to, Bhavani as, the wife of Shiva. It's already understood she's Shiva's wife, so when you say, no, the husband of the wife of Shiva, it sounds like you're talking about somebody else. And here we find a few here and there like that. But otherwise, it is extraordinary. It's just extraordinary what you've done. And because Saraswati giveth and Saraswati taketh. So she can make you say all kinds of wonderful and extraordinary things, and she can also make you dumb. He temporarily, practically loses the ability to speak. The great Keshava, what to speak of argue or defend himself, he can't think straight. He can't voice Vani. She is Vak Devi, the goddess of speech. Saraswati Thakur also mentioned emotions. Music, emotions, learning. But this was his way of, so in this way, he's like a precocious young teacher. But that Keshava Kashmiri can understand through this his divinity. It's his mercy. This is his beautiful, sweet, merciful pastime of how to upgrade a fortunate soul into his pastimes. Same with Vasudeva Sarvabhauma later, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who, seeing him as a 24-year-old sannyasi who's like too beautiful to be a sannyasi, and maybe he took sannyas prematurely, and he's not sufficiently adept in Vedanta, which is the purview of the sannyasi. Sarvabhauma was thinking out of affection to upgrade him to a superior sampradaya and educate him about Vedanta. And again, what do we find? Mahaprabhu listening. Sarvabhauma, 1 day goes by, 2 days, 3 days, and Sarvabhauma is saying like, I know this is heady stuff, but nod or give some indication if you understand what I'm saying. I know it's pretty deep. But you talk to someone and they're like nodding, oh, aha, yes, wow. And Mahaprabhu was saying nothing, just. And Sarvabhauma said like, raise your hand or something, give me an indication. And Mahaprabhu says to them there, it could be interpreted as arrogance, but if you consider who he is, not. And he said, oh, I understand Vedanta. I don't understand what you're saying. And Sarvabhauma said, oh, like you could give a better explanation? And that's when he gives his 9 explanations. He's saying like, let me show him some of my stuff. All right, here's 9 explanations of the Atmarama Slok. See if you can follow this. Gives 9 explanations. Guru Maharaj said, at that point he'd somewhat regained his prestige. He's saying 9 explanations, 9 levels of meaning. Then Mahaprabhu gives 18, double that. All right, whatever you did, I double that. 18 explanations, and I'm not touching on the 9 you gave. Then Sarvabhauma, what do you think? Sadbhuj Murti revealed to him. So is Ishvara Murti, he reveals his divinity to him. But still, while he's growing up in Navadvip, there are Srivas, Gadadhar, they're praying for him to become a devotee. So you think, well, Srivas, when someone like you, who is a great devotee, wants somebody else to become a devotee, then it must happen. That's the sure way. As Narottam Thakur says, Asraya loya bhaje tare Krishna nahi tyaje akarne, no. Ar mari sab akarne. Saying, don't try to go directly to Krishna. Take shelter of his devotee. Then you get Krishna automatically. So he's confirming this by saying, Srivas Thakur, if someone of your stature, your devotional stature, heart, wants someone else to achieve devotion, then certainly it must happen. And really, that's the premise of the modern day Krishna consciousness movement. It's all an extension of the goodwill, wishes of the pure devotees. Like Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, or Guru Maharaj, they're like Prabhupada was saying, your ever well-wisher. They're well-wishing Krishna consciousness to others, and by their service and association, that comes to pass. But when Mahaprabhu returned from Gaya, some change happened, and he began to madly take Krishna Nam, and always praising the Braja Gopis, and all the devotees in Navadvip, Mayapur, they're very happy. And Advaita Acharya when he hears about this transformation, he says, he has descended. I mean, you think, well, wait a minute, he's around 20 or so by this time. But he's saying, now he's embracing the position of a devotee. He's coming to do what he set out to do. But so if we're following this, we see he gradually achieves the position of Bhakta Bhav and then ultimately Radha Bhav, the heart of the highest devotee. Not just devotion as a devotee would have, but Radha Bhav, the devotion of Srimati Radharani, Mahabhav, Swarupini Radha Thakurani. But there's some gradual development, so that on his way toward that, he's sometimes showing the Varaha avatar. Some Shiva Bhakta with the little drum, we've seen them in India, those little drums, swing them back and forth, and singing songs of Shiva. He becomes so moved by that, he starts saying, "I'm Shiva," and he climbs on the man's back, and the man and he sees he has matted lock. He's become Shiva, and he's riding around on him in the mood of Shiva. Murari Gupta's help. He becomes the Varaha avatar. Sometimes he's appearing as Balaram. He's become Balaram in the presence of Nityananda and Radha. And he's saying, "Bring me wine." And the devotees are saying, "What? What are we supposed to do?" They get some Ganga Jal in the pot, and they give him that. He's drinking Ganga Jal and finds it intoxicating. So, and with his devotees, they began having their kirtans in the house of Srivas Thakur, sometimes Chandrasekhar Acharya. But they are, as we told, normally Ganga we consider as coming from the lotus feet of Krishna. And these pastimes, the Ganga is streaming out of his eyes as tears. And dancing with Nityananda, Advaita Acharya, Srivas Thakur, and a whole group of devotees. And showing unparalleled ecstatic symptoms. The Vrindavan Das Thakur said, they're not even, what is expressed there is not found anywhere in the Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam mentions some reference to ecstasy and ecstatic saint, but not on this level. Sometimes his body is becoming bigger. Sometimes Mahaprabhu's eyes double in size. Sometimes his body becomes very light in these kirtans, light as a feather, and the devotees carry him around while they're singing and dancing. Otherwise it's too heavy, no one can move him. He's shivering in ecstasy, and no one can, it says 100 men can't hold his body. There's so much movement. It means the name is playing upon him. Guru Maharaj said, like a doll of play, the name spreading its influence. He's taking Krishna Nam, but what does Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur say? Mahaprabhu Gauranga Sundara Nagarabara Nittam Nijar Namabi. He's taking his own name, but relishing the sweetness. Guru Maharaj makes this point in Search for Sri Krishna and invoking his own work, the Prema Dhamma Deva Stotram. He's a sweetness is tasting itself and becoming mad as an outcome. But he's tasting this from the position of one who's qualified to relish the sweetness fully. That means Mahabhav, Radharani. So, Rupa Goswami saying, that's my worshipable Lord, Sachinandan, the son of Mother Sachi. And what is he? He's, for a long time he hasn't been here. Right? Alluding to Krishna and Balaram. One day Sachi Mata tells Vishwambar, Nimai, she's saying, I had this dream. And in this dream, you and Nitai were there, but with Krishna and Balaram. And you were all young boys, but you were quarreling. And you were holding Balaram, and Nitai was holding Krishna. And they were saying, Krishna and Balaram were saying, you're not authorized to eat these offerings. They were complaining, you're stealing our lunch. Who gave you the authority to do this? And they started stealing each other's food and fighting. And Guru Maharaj said at one point, Nityananda is telling Krishna and Balaram, your days are long gone. Now is the time for my Lord Gauranga. So come down from that Sringasan. We can't imagine, someone goes up to the Sringasan and he's arguing with it. Come down. Your day is over. It's time for my Lord Gauranga. And she said, it was so astonishing to see these things. So he said, Narpita Charim Chirat Korne Avatirana Kalo. He hasn't come for a long time. Now he's come, but he's giving something that has not been given previously. He's giving entrance into this plane. Krishna Lilamrita Sar, Tar Shata Shatadar Das Dike Jaha Hoite. Se Chaitanya Lila Hoy Sarova Manaha Akshay Manasa Charaha Tahate. As Krishna Lila, Samrita Sar, the creme de la creme of nectarine substance. What is Chaitanya Lila? That Krishna Lila, we know, we're told, sakhyam vijahu krita punya punya. What did they do? Such a rare position achieved by these cowherd boys, the gopas and gopis. What is the exclusive domain of the highest section of liberated souls? And no one can enter there. Once Guru Maharaj said we should have a sign that says, no admission, welcome. Like, welcome to the land of no admission, where you cannot enter here by your own initiative. You can't be self-certifying. Anyway, so Mahaprabhu deflecting said, well then, tell everyone that there's that sloka you wrote about the holy name, upon hearing which everyone becomes happy. He wants to defer from the Sachinandan glorifying sloka. Maintain his bhakta mentality. Oh, and that's what I was going to say. So in this avatar, when he is, before taking sannyas, showing the mood of divinity, that's like a delirium for him. Normally he's calling devotees Prabhu, he's taking the dust from their feet, he's super humble. But sometimes he starts showing that he's the Lord. But it's like a delirious condition until the Bhakti Bhav, devotional mentality, overwhelms and that is totally suppressed. And after taking sannyas, then Kahan Krishna Prananath Murali Vadan, Kahan Karun Kahan Bhan Brajendra Nandan. Only searching for Krishna. But before that, showing a delirious state that he's the Lord, climbing on the Singhasan, the throne of Vishnu, receiving worship, offering benedictions, showing that he's Nrsimha, he's Vaman, he's all the avatars, Avatarasar, Gaur Avatar. He's showing that on the way to Radha Bhav, Bhakti Bhav and Radha Bhav. And I'm Shiva, I'm Narayan, I'm Baladev, I'm Vaman, Nrsimha, Varaha. But Mahaprabhu says to Rupa Goswami, this is him as a sannyasi. Tell us that sloka you wrote, that everyone, upon hearing which makes everyone happy. From his plate, Tunde Tandavini Vitanute, Tundavali Labdye, Karna Krodha Kadambini Gatayate, Karnar Budhebhya Spriham. When we hear Krishneti Varnadoi, we do not know how much nectar is within the syllables Krishna. That when we hear the name of Krishna, and this is the point, I went the long way. When you actually hear the name of Krishna, this is Rupa Goswami saying. What is it like to actually hear the name of Krishna? Saying 2 ears will be insufficient. It's so beautiful. The sound is so nectarine. 2 ears are insufficient. It's like an infinite, endless shower of nectar. The heart will automatically say, I need millions of ears. It will be put in a painful position. 2 ears will prove insufficient. I need 10 million ears. That's what he's saying. And to see the form of Krishna, one will want to have 10 million eyes. 2 eyes will prove to be insufficient. And he's saying, and how sweet is the name of Krishna? 1 tongue is insufficient. One will desire, the heart will say, I need millions of tongues to taste all this sweetness. That's the statement of Rupa Goswami. And what does he think regarding the flute of Krishna? Rundan ambu britas chamatkriti param kurvam muhustumburum dhyanad antaran sanandana mukham vishmapayam vedasam otsukya balibir balim bogendra magurnayam bibram andakataha bitim abito bad brahma Gurudeva bad brahma bangshi dwani. It's a powerful sound. What do you think? There are 8 shells covering the universe. 8 layers, going to gross to subtle. The flute sound of Krishna cracks a hole in all the 8 layers of the universe. And what is the first thing to do? Brahma is bewildered and he's thinking, this is not a sound I'm familiar with that I created. I know all the sounds within my creation. This is not one of them. I'm told that Tumburu is the leader of the Gandharvas. They're the greatest musicians, singers in the world. The leader, when the Ambu Britas, Ambu Brita, by the way, saying, clouds become, they can't move. The clouds are frozen in like space, like in a photograph. Rain just stops in its place. Rivers are frozen. Rocks start melting. So what is liquid becomes paralyzed and solid. What is solid becomes liquid. Brahma does not recognize this as being something within his creation. Tumburu, the leader of the Gandharvas, saying, we know music and the best music. This is beyond any music that we've ever heard. It's mentioned by Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur in his commentary on the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that Krishna can sound all the notes of the scale when he plays the flute simultaneously, but there's a song, but it's playing all the notes in a very inexplicably pleasing way, what is impossible. Not just sounding them all at one time. Somehow within this sound, all the notes are moving simultaneously in some peculiar mystical harmony. Dhyananantara Sanandana Mukhan. And the four Kumaras, remember, they're Kumars, means, how would you say, prepubescent little boys. They're the ultimate meditators. The meditators meditate. Nothing can distract them. Right? Ever. And hearing the sound of Krishna's flute, they're unable to concentrate. See, it's the opposite. People go, what is meditation? We're saying, here, we want to know what you need to understand? The greatest meditators who've ever existed in all time and space, when they hear the flute of Krishna, they can't concentrate. Are you ready for that? Do you have any interest in that? Or you want to sit in some posture and play a little game? Do your Buddha selfie, right? Put it on Facebook or Instagram. Doing my Buddha selfie here. The four Kumars, what is it? They cannot concentrate. But they can hear the flute of Krishna? Interesting. Maybe it's beyond what we conceive of as concentration. Dhyanantaran, Antaran, Bhishmapa, Brahma, Bhishmapa, Vedasam. There's Brahma. He is astonished. Otsukya, and so the flute is going from Brahmaloka, Brahma Satyatapa, the higher planetary system, then making its way down towards it's like going throughout the whole universe, then down in the deep in the southern hemisphere, Bali Maharaj. And he's totally astonished, and it's awakened this insatiable curiosity to find out what is the source of this extraordinary sound. And the very bottom is Anantadev. And the universe, as we're told, like so many mustard seeds, or the planets, variously the planets. And it's hearing the sound, it's so intoxicating that his heads begin to sway, being intoxicated by the sound. And it looks like the planets are going to go, ooh, they're going to slip off. So if you sing it, so you see, this Rupa Goswami is saying, in one sloka. This is the sound, what is like the effects, the sound effects of the flute of Krishna. Brahma, the Kumaras, Bali Maharaj, the Gandharvas. He's showing everyone who are utterly astonished, bewildered, maddened, intoxicated by the sound of the flute of Krishna, which cracked through all the 8 layers, shells. That's what Sri Rupa wrote. So what is that sound? And who's qualified to hear that sound? Sevan mukhe jivarushayam. So that Rupa. But with service, with a service connection, then it may be possible to hear something, see something, taste something, smell something, appreciate something, enter into that plane as a contributing unit. Service, seva mayoyam loka. It's a world of service, never an object of experience. Subjective, super subjective, and what is the Prakriti Leela of Krishna? The super subjective realm. Vaikuntha, the lower hemisphere of the Dhoksaja realm. Krishna, that means super subjective. Krishna Loka, where the flute of Krishna descends from, super subjective. Not an object of experience. Super sensuous. But we're prone to be deceived. Look, the Mahaprabhu's assistant, when they're in Vrindavan telling him, he said, the local people, he's asking him for his permission to go to the Jamuna one. Why? Well, the people say, Krishna has returned to Vrindavan. Think about this carefully. He's telling this to Mahaprabhu. They say, Krishna has returned to Vrindavan. Mahaprabhu was saying, oh really? How? Say, at night, he's dancing on Kaliya. And the simple-hearted people would go to the banks of and then at night they would see, and Krishna's dancing on Kaliya. But Mahaprabhu could understand. In fact, what they were seeing is there was one fisherman who would take his boat on Jamuna at night, and he had some little candle, some little lamp, and then he would take his fishing pole and he'd be whoosh, and then they would see this, and there's someone, oh, Krishna's dancing on Kaliya. We're so fortunate to see that. And Mahaprabhu's own associate telling him, who is he? He's Krishna, Radha, Govinda, Militva, combined, right? He's telling him, they say Krishna has returned to Vrindavan. Mahaprabhu is saying, that's the truth. That's very true. But he's not that. So he's right in front of Krishna who's returned to Vrindavan, saying, can I have your permission to go see some fool's gold? So we are our own worst enemy in that sense. But say Krishna is the transcendental sound vibration form of the Lord, under the guidance of his devotees, following their instruction, and gradually reveals within the heart. Pravishta karna randrena, swanam bhavam saroruham, dunoti shamalam Krishna, shalayasha yatasharat. Some cleansing necessary. Cheto darpana marjanam. cleansing away acquired tendency, acquired prejudice. Then there can be proper reflection. Sevan mukata. So we have to be servitors, and as Gurudev would say, a proper receiver. That sound, that beautiful divine sound is there, but who can receive that? You can become a proper receiver through modest natural growth and service and association under the guidance of Guru and Vaishnava. Hare Krishna. Shri Rupanuga Kritimati Guru Gauranga Radha Jita Shah has given by Srila Guru Maharaj and the Mat Pranama Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat. Hare Krishna.